So, welcome to another episode of Show Me Comics, where people show us their comics and you listen. I'm Ty,
My name's Arthur.
um, and as always, today actually is a special episode because it's just going to be me and you, Arthur, talking, kind of touching base, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, kind of catching up with where our comics at.
Yeah, I think we got a lot to talk about, especially just over the uh past few episodes. We can talk about how we feel about some of our guests.
That's true. That's true. But as always, follow Show Off Comic on Instagram. And if you have a comic that you want to talk to us about, send your emails to showme.comics24@gmail.com. But first, we're going to start with Two Truths, One Lie, as we always do, to kind
All
of break
right.
the ice. Arthur could not think of Two Truths and a Lie in time, so I have one more stocked up, cocked up.
I can't lie, I forgot. I'm sorry.
Um, so, oh gosh. All right, all right, all right. Number one, I have 6 trades set aside for my trip to Thailand. 6 different comic book trade paperbacks.
Right.
Um, there is a superhero. This one's not personal because I don't know. This was just like in my phone. This isn't really about me. There's a superhero called Foreskin Man.
Okay.
And number 3, back when I used to participate in my local library's Smash Brothers tournaments, uh, I the last time I went, I announced my retiring on the microphone, and I was like, that's just a little bit of a cringe thing I thought I'd throw in there. Uh, yeah, that one might be
Those
too
all
real.
sound. Yeah, I was gonna say the last two were a little too a little oddly specific. I feel like you're trying to throw me off with the first one. I think you have like 7 trades or 8.
Is that your
I
final
think that's a
answer?
lot. Yeah.
You were right on.
I would.
I have 7 trades right now. Um,
Yeah, I figured you just were using that as
switch
an
the
excuse
number.
to bring up Foreskin Man.
Well, yeah, I was just looking on, the website where I sometimes read comic books, and Foreskin Man was on there, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, naturally.
But did I talk to you about him before, or was that?
No, this is the first time hearing of Foreskin Man.
Yeah, the cover's really funny. People can look it up. You can look it up later. But yeah, my seven trades are Space Mullet, Dune, the graphic novel,
Mm-hmm.
Hawkeye, um, the omnibus by David Aha, and then 3 X-Men by Grant Morrison trades and Murder Falcon. So
Wow. Haven't you already read Murder Falcon?
I got like halfway through, and then that's exactly what happened when I was leaving Florida. I found it in Florida, I think, and then I read it
Right.
halfway, and now I've read halfway twice.
Well, yeah. So you don't even need to reread it. Just start from the middle.
Yeah, true, true. Um, but yeah, but I think we can just get started and kind of talk about our comic now.
Yeah. What do you wanna? What do you have in mind?
Well, let's see. I mean, I guess we could just kind of catch up on general stuff and like our experiences making a comic. So, for me, it's been kind of interesting because I've been, not as I don't want to say not as engaged, but you're kind of really into it every week. You're making a new page, but for me, I've kind of taken like more of a back seat.
Yeah.
But it's also I kind of need to get back on the horse because there's so many things we need to do. Like it's literally probably a 10 stage list. Like uh, we need to get it lettered, we need to get it colored, we need a logo.
Yeah. I mean, there's still definitely a lot to do, but it's crazy because it was only like a year ago that we didn't even have a colorist or anything, and now all this stuff, all these things that we actually have to do to get this going. It's like, oh, Now, like the part where it becomes actual work comes in, you know.
Yeah, and also money, we have to spend
Yeah,
a certain
money.
amount of money on it, and that's kind of been one barrier, but I don't know, yeah. It's it's going to
I
get
mean,
done,
having
and as long as you're going at the rate you're going, I think we'll be fine.
yeah, I think I can pick up the pace a little bit now. I just got off a break from not necessarily from drawing, but just from doing pages, doing some studies. But I think yeah, now that I just did most of page 7 for issue 2 just this morning. Uh,
Well, you might be working on another comic book here soon too, right? So it might get a little
mhm.
more hectic for you.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to say I'm trying to like 1 page a week is not fast enough at this moment, you know. So I feel like
You mean
with that project,
you mean you have too much time or you don't have enough time?
yeah, I mean I'm not really working a full job right now. I've got a lot of downtime, and I think with show off with wanting to get show off done steadily, and this new project Ninjas in Baronsville we talked about in the episode with TS. Um, yeah, I think at least 2 pages, you know, one each a week is probably what I need to be doing at some point. I still haven't gotten character designs for that down fully, um, but I'm getting there.
But you
It
also are, we're going to have to supposedly find some other people to interview on here, so you're going to have to be doing research for that too, a little bit at least. But yeah, you're going to have a lot of
real.
stuff on your plate. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
that's,
we knew it was going to be work, you know.
I don't
It's not all
think,
like,
one thing I think that most people don't realize though is like, even at like Image Comics, they have like 8 people in the office or something. Uh, and like we only have two, so it's kind of like, it's going to be a lot of. I mean, yeah, I'm just like starting a list right now of all the stuff we have to get done by hopefully December, where we can maybe pre-launch the link, or I don't know what we're gonna do. We're kind of it's 4 months
yeah, we'll
away,
get there.
but
Right.
we still, yeah,
We'll have something by then. Um, I mean, I think having just the two of us is honestly pretty lucky, you know, two childhood friends that have the common goal of, you know, making it in comics. I think that's pretty rare. You know, everybody that I talk to just doing it by themselves or at least started by themselves.
yeah,
So honestly having someone to write the scripts is really, really helpful.
that's true. That's very true.
That shit's hard. That shit's hard.
Also
Being
true.
interesting.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, I
another
did
thing we
one
need is
6 page.
onomatopoeia. Sorry, I'm just writing. Like I said, I'm writing
True.
down a list.
Oh, you're good. But yeah, I mean, I did one 6 page story, and that was writing a 6 page script took me a couple weeks, and that was pretty hard. I cannot imagine doing like more than 3 times that.
Yeah, I mean, it's you really have to think of a whole. Like, yeah, it takes a for me it takes a few days. I mean, at
Uh,
least to get
like,
a story down.
like, I can picture a story in my head, you know, like I can be like, oh, I want this to happen and this to happen. Like, oh, that's the whole story. And then actually, like, going page by page and making it interesting
Hmm.
is like, it's two completely different things. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you went to school for it, didn't you?
I mean, I took a creative writing class, but I mean, I don't know. I didn't really take that many classes on writing. I learned a lot about comics, but they didn't
Right.
teach me how to write really. Um, but yeah, no, super excited for what's to come. I never realized how much work it would be and how many years we'd be working on this, but I mean, we're almost done with issue 1. It's very exciting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my chores on issue 1 have been done for a little while now. I've been a little chunk into issue 2 and some other projects, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it took. I mean, we've been working on it for like a little over 2 years now, but issue 1 really only took me about like 8 or 9 months to draw, and that is a long time. I would still say, you know,
Mm-hmm.
longer than it should take for to get this out on a regular basis. But also, it was my first fucking one, so I don't feel too bad. Um,
Yeah.
issue 2 will definitely be a lot more consistent. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I feel it is so far.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully we'll have that colored by. I mean, if we hopefully do a episode with Dom maybe in the next few weeks. We can have him do that, and that'll be done in a few months, and then we would need to start getting issue 2 colored, which would mean yeah, and then maybe hopefully have that done. So maybe by the end of this year we'll have a third to half of issue 2 colored.
Yeah, that would be nice.
If we're so lucky.
Yeah, like it really is a lot. Like when you decide to do this stuff on your own, you think it's going to be a lot easier than, getting in with a publisher or something, and then you realize like do you know how much we've spent so far? Like it's probably going to be, I mean, it definitely helps to split it between 2 people, but it's probably going to be like over $2,000 with coloring and lettering in the end, not including printing, shipping. Yeah. I mean, just be prepared, I think it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I just think we need to get the ball rolling sooner rather than later on just general stuff, cuz honestly, yeah, you've been pumping through it, but I've been kind of slacking off, and yeah, I don't know. It's I need to start making like a timeline, like of what we need to do and what needs to be first and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think definitely working on the Instagram is a big thing, and maybe some other media marketing stuff like that. I don't know.
Well, it's interesting because one thing I hear sometimes about comics is like when you pitch maybe not even comics, just books. Like when you pitch a book, one thing they ask you is like, what is your following like on socials nowadays? So it's like, we have this podcast, so that's kind of like I said, like, yeah, this is more popular than our Instagram. Please follow our Instagram, guys. Show Off Comic on Instagram.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm begging you. Yeah.
Oh, I'm pleading.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, so like lettering, that's pretty easy. We just need to reach out to a guy and have money. Coloring is the same. We just have to wait for that. Logo might be more of a process with working with Dom.
I have faith that he can get it in a few tries.
I don't think that's a great way to go into it. Just like, oh, he'll figure it out. I don't think that's how it's going to work, but
no, I mean, we'll work out, like we'll give him an idea of what we want and some notes, and then he'll give us some rough ideas probably, and we'll work out a final result.
It's going to be a back and forth. That was kind of what I was saying.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, having a full-time job and doing all this is also pretty hard for me.
Yeah.
Especially since I don't have a freaking set schedule, which is really, really annoying.
Yeah, are you still doing 6 days a week?
Well, it depends on the week, but it's random. But yeah. It would just be nice to have some consistency in my life.
That's fair. Didn't you have set days when you weren't full-time? Like when you were just part-time?
I don't know, but we don't need to talk about this right now. But one thing, you know what, why don't we take a little break really quick, and why don't we talk about, it's been like about a week or so since the Deadpool movie, a few weeks since the Deadpool movie came out. And, one of my favorite YouTubers, his opinion was that the movie made him angry and that Ryan Reynolds isn't a good actor. And
what?
I mean, let's be honest, he plays the same character in every movie.
You can say that about lots of actors.
Like who?
Like Michael Cera, like Seth Rogen.
I disagree, though. They're good actors. I disagree, though. They don't always play the same character. And I completely... Okay, well, I would disagree with everyone you said except for Ryan Reynolds. I actually do think he only plays one character, and I can see why the movie made him angry because, I mean, the way it sounds like they wrote it was like very quickly, first of all.
Right.
And also, I mean, I get it. It's a masturbatory movie. It's like, it's celebrating all the old X-Men movies, and it's kind of breaking all the rules of being a traditional movie in doing so. So I liked the movie. I enjoyed the movie, but it's not going on my top 10 movies anytime soon, I liked
But
it a
does it
lot,
have
but
to?
no,
But
it
does it have
doesn't.
to go on your list? Can it just
No.
be enough that you enjoyed it? Like, so what if you forget about it in a year, you know? You still had fun.
Yeah,
It was
no, I
worth
think
the
I like the movie. I think it's a good
yeah.
movie. Okay, I don't know. Like, yeah, that's like kind of the question. Is it a good movie? I think it's a good experience,
Yeah.
and it's a
I
good.
mean,
Yeah, it's fun.
it's a good movie to see in the theater, but not to own on Blu-ray or buy a $40 popcorn bucket.
Because here's my thing here. Like, I was kind of trying to figure out. Like, I've only seen it once, so take whatever I'm saying with a grain of salt. Like, what was the point of that movie? Like, in terms of like emotional depth or anything. Like,
Um,
it was a little emotional because Wolverine let his world die, but other than that, it's like it was just a buddy cop movie, I guess, kind of situation. I don't know, not
my
buddy cop,
favorite
but
part, I mean, why are you expecting anything more from that, like from these movies? I mean, I mean, I guess the first two were pretty, they had a decent story, but I don't think
he
they were very
definitely had.
deep
I
either.
feel like he had more of an arc in the first two movies. Um,
Yeah, and this is the end of the trilogy, so it's ending all that stuff, you know. They're closing off the arc.
true, true. Yeah, no, I
But no,
mean, I'm just saying,
I do agree.
I generally do
Like,
think it's a good movie, and I really enjoyed it. But I also see where someone could say this feels very, like the story is nothing. It's like,
I mean, it's 100% fan service. Like that's all it
right,
is. All it is waiting to get to see the next character and
yeah.
like laughs in between. But I mean, it's a comedy movie. Like not every fucking comedy movie has to. I don't know. I really enjoyed the opening. The choreographs are amazing.
Yeah,
The fights were awesome.
yeah. No,
The
that's
fight in the yeah. I don't. I mean, I don't want to get too into it because I don't know if everybody's seen it. But I mean, I'll agree. There's not really a point to it other than
yeah. I give it
just
like an eight or a nine or so.
yeah.
In
I don't
fact,
even know if I'd rate it. It's cool. Yeah, you know what? Eight or nine. I'll agree.
you know what? It's the middle of the show, but we usually do this at the end of the show. But what comics have you been reading, Arthur?
Oh, I just started. I went to Comic HQ recently and picked up Junkyard Joe. I'm 2 issues into that, and that is it's a lot
I'm sure
shorter
the
than I
art's
thought it would
good.
be. The art's great. Um, man, I really don't want to spoil. Like, I don't want to say anything about it. It's about a team, like a platoon in Vietnam.
Gary Frank, I believe, drew it.
Yes, Gary Frank. And it's so apparently it's part of like a whole universe. Like there's a bunch of other comics that tie into it and take place in the same shared
It's
universe.
like, yeah, okay.
Anyway, yeah, so this platoon gets delivered a robot basically, and it's just, you know, it's like the movie Platoon or Apocalypse Now with Terminator, like if they had a Terminator.
Hmm.
But it's only 6 issues, so the story changes completely with each issue. So I really can't say anything about it.
Uh huh. Is it hardcover or soft cover?
So Comics HQ has these like the little bundles where they just have the individual
Ah,
issues.
okay.
So unfortunately I got the individual issues. I wish I got the trade.
Eh, nothing wrong with the individuals.
Oh no.
Um, I've been trying to read the end of the X-Men stuff, which I mentioned last time. Um, First of all, I want to say it is kind of a mess, but I'm still somewhat enjoying it.
Hmm.
Even though for some reason the comics were released out of order, so I ended up reading one of the issues out of order. And dude, so it's kind of crazy because there's a lot of parallels from what I'm reading and like all the political stuff going on right now with Project 2025, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's just like it's if you read this 20 Project 2025 thing, it's this horrible document about all the ways they're going to take away women's rights in the next few years if Donald Trump wins, and
I've seen some of it, yeah.
a bunch of horrible stuff. And then you're reading the X-Men comic, and it's all these press releases about how they're exterminating mutants and like I know it sounds like I don't know, it's weird because you can read something online that is supposedly going to be law in a few years, and then you can read this X-Men comic where they're talking about laws and how they're passing laws, and it's just like so real. And
I mean that's always been the goal of X-Men comics, you know? Like that's I
yeah,
think they've always been reflective of that part of society and in government.
yeah, and yeah, I mean, I am really sad the Krakoan era of X-Men is over. Like, oh, it was so good, and I don't think 3 years was long enough. Um, but you know what? I mean, hey, I can go back and go read some of those comics if I want to, and hopefully,
True.
and if I decide to buy this last trade, if it's not super confusing. Also, just completely going on a tangent here.
Right.
I do want to say there was one comment online I was reading that was complaining about how there's like these text pages and how they're explaining stuff, and they're like, God, I hate this, tell not show kind of stuff. But it's like the reason they have the text is to describe things that you could physically not show. Like
Right.
it's so scientific, and it's not scientific, but it's like the idea of like having an omnipotent being made up of smaller, you know, omnipotent beings. How do you visualize that? There's almost no way. So I was just getting mad about some people's critiques, but also I understand the critique that this is insanely convoluted. And
I
anyway,
mean,
yeah, that's it.
I think that's definitely like having those descriptory like like speech bubbles is a little bit not necessarily outdated, but it is an older form of storytelling in comics, so I get
Well, no,
people
this is
criticizing
different
it.
though. This is like text pages, like a page where there's kind of like some design on it, or like maybe a
Oh,
diagram,
okay.
and people are complaining. It's like, oh, I'm pissed, like that I got a diagram. It's like, read a fucking pie chart. You know how to read a pie chart. It's kind of cool to see
Yeah,
like that in
then yeah,
comics.
I would definitely agree. There's just some stuff you can't sum up in one or two panels. Like that's I mean, I just consider that a one-page spread. Like that's what that is.
Yeah,
Because the person
basically.
probably still put that all together. It's still art.
Okay, here's another random thing that happened in one of the issues. First, Doctor Sinister, one of the evil ones, he sewed Cyclops' eyes shut, right?
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that cover.
But then it's revealed that Cyclops could have somehow lasered it the whole time. And I'm like,
Right?
what? How? Wait, how? Because, like, the only way to do that would be, like, if you blew your eyelids off.
Yeah, dude.
So he
For the
didn't
sake
do
of the
that.
mission.
It didn't make any sense. How could he sewed his eyes shut? There's no way to get out of that unless you, like, anyway. Maybe he just cut the stitches. I guess he just lasered the stitches. I don't know.
No, that would have been cool though.
If he just he burst his eyelids off and then he couldn't blink anymore. He's like Deadpool from X-Men
Yeah.
Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, he's just constantly lasering everything, just looking down all the time. Or I guess into space.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, dude, I don't love to talk about Fortnite on the podcast lest I get
Oh
roasted,
God.
but next season it is the Marvel season and they have Gwenpool in the excuse me, in the battle pass, and I love Gwenpool, so I'm actually excuse me again, I'm just actually super hyped.
Really?
Yeah, like Gwenpool's in Fortnite. It's like so bizarre. I'm sure people are gonna be roasting her on the internet, but I like Gwenpool.
Why would people be roasting Gwenpool?
I mean, on the surface, it's like, oh, what, we just mashing up characters now, and then it turns out she's like actually a really cool character. Like breaks
Yeah,
fourth wall in a cool way.
that's just the people that, don't
Yeah,
do
they
the
don't know.
research.
Maybe
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
wonder if any of the artists get any kickback for that. I'm sure they don't. Involved in creating Gwenpool.
Why would they get kickback? It's a like you said, it's a good character.
No, I mean like get money.
Oh yeah, true. I hope so.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Maybe one of them could make one of the save screens for her.
That they might already be. Yeah, there's some awesome Fortnite art with like Trad Moore has done some Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange. Speaking of Doctor Doom,
Mm-hmm.
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh God. Oh, you know what?
Honestly, it's just like a wait and see type thing. Like I'm not gonna complain about something I don't know. You know, Like, I don't know what's
Like,
gonna happen.
if I
Kind of
think
do,
it,
but I can guess. But
I think it'll be fine either way. Like, either they bring him back as like it's some multiversal, Tony Stark became Doctor Doom,
don't think they're
like,
doing that.
and then they could tie it into Spider-Man somehow, or it's just, I guess, more likely that he is playing Victor Von Doom.
Can I just say how it is insane, how insane it is to have a movie where like Iron Man 1, where you're cheering for a rich guy who gets drunk and then, like, I don't know, drunkenly drives his suit of armor around. Like, that's the scariest thing. Like, if that movie had Elon deep faked over it, I think, hate that movie.
Yeah, but he only do that in like the first one.
Uh, he never got that. He only got a little. Yeah, he never got super drunk. Like, he kind of.
Or
I
or
kind of
are
wish
you
he got
talking in the
drunker.
comics?
I'm talking in the movies.
Well, when did he get drunk and fly around in a suit?
In the first one, he does, and then Rhodey has to, like, fight him or something, or maybe that's the second one.
Yeah, and then he has like 27 movies of like character arc after that. I don't think the Iron Man, like the Tony Stark in Endgame, would do the same thing.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm just saying it would have been funnier to see drunk Iron Man throughout the movies. I don't know.
Oh, fair enough. I agree. If he was, yeah,
His character
would have
arc
been
is he's a
funny.
dick and he's smart. I don't know. I guess he learns to care about people other than himself at the end. That's true.
I mean, yeah, his wife and kid.
I don't know. They never even went into that much. I don't think. Like, a lot of that happened off screen. Weirdly,
I'm okay with that. I don't need a rescue backstory.
they they couldn't pay. I forget her name.
Oh,
Pepper
Gwyneth
Potts.
Paltrow.
Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow's busy making products that absolutely do not work. She's like the opposite of Iron Man. She makes things that don't work.
Oh gosh, she's an Iron Man villain.
Oh shit. Oh my god, why isn't that a comic yet? Can you imagine that?
It's what's a villain of someone selling like brainwashing through like pointless supplements and
Oh,
protein
here we
powders.
go. New show off arc. 10
Hell
issues.
yeah,
Dude, they're also adding
hell
Emma
yeah,
Frost to the Fortnite Battle Pass. I'm like, yo, we getting some deep cuts low key. Like, I fuck with
hell
it.
yeah. How much is that though? How much is the pack to get all these X-Men characters?
Well, for X-Men, that's different because I did not buy that. That they came out with a pack with Cyclops, Jubilee, and it's probably like $30 and Colossus. Yeah,
Damn.
if you guys if anyone wants to wonder how video games make so much money, how Disney makes so much money, Disney just announced they're doing Incredibles cross Fortnite, so you're gonna get to see freaking, I don't know, Jack with a gun. I don't know.
That's amazing.
There's a Jack mythic. You have to pick it up and utilize that on the map.
No, Ty, you're
Point the
missing.
baby at Jack
No,
Skellington.
he would be the Jack backpack
Oh, I can't wait to shoot Jack with an assault rifle.
in
Okay,
the back.
Jesus Christ, I got way too dark for the pod.
Oh no, it's okay.
What else? They announced some other, like, Disney. They announced Disney Toy Story 5 and another sequel. I forgot what it was. Oh, Moana 2 and one more. Uh,
Uh, wasn't there a new property that they came out with, like a whole new movie?
I think so. I didn't watch the trailer for that. It's Toy Story 5 and another sequel. I forget what it is. Oh, Incredibles 3. Which
Was
I
there
think we talked about this a little bit. We did not like Incredibles 2. Me and
you know
Arthur.
what I no I don't. But you know what I am excited for though, which could be at least visually interesting, is live action Lilo and Stitch with which
Oh my
got
god, I didn't
announced.
even know that. Like, that one flew under my radar so hard. Why are we? I don't know. I don't know if I like that at all.
We need to stop, is what I'm saying. We need to stop with these live actions. Just let these amazing things
Yeah,
be what they are. Let them exist.
like, in 10 years, am I gonna go to the store and look on the DVD shelf, if there even is a freaking Blu-ray shelf anymore, and it's, instead of Lilo and Stitch, it's Lilo and Stitch live action? Like, I don't want
Yeah, in the
that.
discount bin.
Yeah. Oh god. Come up with some new ideas. Make new 2D animated movies, Disney. Holy shit.
They'll
I
never do that. They'll never go back
You
to
know what their
TV.
last one was? Bob's
Wasn't it,
Burgers.
what?
It was the Bob's Burgers movie. It was 2D animated by Disney.
I didn't even know that. Holy crap.
I know, right?
I thought it was Princess Frog. Was it Princess Frog before that?
Princess Frog was way before the Bob's Burgers movie.
No, that's what I'm saying. Was that the last one? Like, that was the last animated movie that they
I
did
have no
2D.
clue.
Anyway.
It's possible. Anything's possible.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Oh, so we should talk about how we've been trying to one thing that's prevented us from finishing issue 1 is coloring, like figuring out color palettes for people.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, you sent me an email with some character sheets, right?
Yeah, man. You should check them out. I'm just doing
Oh
like the
shit, we should
classic,
post these on Instagram maybe.
yeah, you should color them first though.
And people can see All-Seeing Ivan and Farax are 2 of our characters.
I don't think either of them have been mentioned before. Oh yeah, they come in the later half of issue 1.
Yeah. Ivan is kind of has harnesses the powers of some demon in his chest, and Farax is like a shape-shifting sort of mythical creature almost.
She's like a devil man beast. She's like a bunch of different demons
Yeah.
in one. She can summon the powers of however many demons she pleases and turn into a giant demon beast.
Yeah, and we're thinking for Ivan like red, maybe gold, and black, I think. Right?
Right.
I don't know. We still haven't decided. And then Farax, I like the kind of blue you had, Arthur, but I do want to try some other ones and check it out.
That's fair. I think the blue and red, like the blue with the red hair, kind of made her look a little too much like Demona from Gargoyles, but we call that a little bit of healthy inspiration, you know?
Oh, dude, wait. Another thing they said was going to be in Fortnite was like Darkwing Duck. I'm like, what?
Oh,
Like,
that's awesome.
Why? Like, so random. So
No,
random.
dude. That's the first good choice they made in years.
Darkwing Duck with a shotgun. Let's get dangerous.
Yeah, you can get a Launchpad McQuack skin.
I always wondered like what the relationship between like Darkwing Duck and like Donald Duck was. Like, they're just both ducks. They're not like related or anything. Is it racist for me to assume they are related?
Yes, definitely. It is. But no, it's just another cartoon universe where everybody's a duck.
I feel like it's the same
well-
universe.
Is it? Well, yeah, I guess the dude from Goof Troop was in it too. It crossed over with Goof Troop a lot, but I don't know. That was a little bit before my time, unfortunately.
Yeah, fair. But yeah, that's like learning how to color characters is like, or like, I don't know. We have to take some time to agree and really figure it out instead of just letting Dominic do it and then us not being happy with it, because that's kind of accidentally what happened last time on one of our characters. And
not cool
that's on
to
us.
It's not cool to make your colorist redo a bunch of work.
True. I mean,
Give him or her notes, lots of notes.
yeah, as much notes as you can write. Which is another thing we need to do.
That shit. Yeah, describe that shit.
See, that's the other problem with like doing this comic. It's just like lettering, coloring, logo, onomatopoeia, thumbnails, and then each of those have like 3 more steps under them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, it's quite a bit of work.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what we asked for. You know, that's the price you pay
True.
for success, baby.
This is facts.
It'll be worth it someday.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully. Like, I don't know. I've been feeling a little bit, like, lost in life and kind of, like, I think it's because I haven't been, like, super involved in this comic recently, and it's just hard to find the time. But I think when we're done with issue 1 and I just read it, and, like, when it becomes real, that's something special. It's like...
Yeah, man.
Okay, so here's the other thing with creativity. Like, when I'm being creative, even on my videos I used to do, it's like you have this high when you start, right? Like, you're super into it. And then you know, maybe for me it's like 3/4 of the way through, I usually burn the fuck out, or just like you feel like you're never gonna get it done because you're at that hump, you know. And that's kind
Mm-hmm.
of where we're at. We're almost done, but not quite there. There's still a lot of work, but not as much as it feels like.
Yeah, it's just scary, you know. It's the final steps, but that's, you know, I think that's how you can tell when you're making when you're doing something good, you know, when you're not necessarily comfortable, when you're, pushing your boundaries a little bit. I think that's what we're doing because I mean, 2 years ago when we started, we could not have done any of this if like we had all this workload right now back then, like yeah, I don't know. I don't think we would have been able to handle it. We've definitely come a long way. And honestly, like what you were saying, yeah, having the motivation and like the worry that it might not work out. I think there's, at least for me, there's a little bit of just I want to say hopeful delusion, you know. I just like wake up and convince myself that yeah, you know, I'm a professional comic book artist and you know, I just if I do this every day, it'll work out, you know. There's just a little bit of delusion, I think, required for this, and a lot of luck. I think we've gotten very lucky too. We need to, I don't know, like luck is a big part of it, but it's also like luck will present the door to you, and all the hard work that you've put in will give you access to actually open the door, you know, to like be
Hopefully.
able to take that chance, you know. Because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like we've got some prospects, you know, like we've got some stuff
Hopefully.
coming up that we can't really talk about.
It's possible. Yeah, I don't know. What's important is you do this work and you get something out of it, right? Like, I don't regret making YouTube videos, like, even if they didn't get that many views, because, like, I made something and I proved to myself that I can make it. This is us proving to ourselves that we can make a story that isn't complete trash, complete ass, and at least make, you know, hopefully a trade one day of it, you know? Like, even if
Yeah,
it's
that'd
just
be
one fucking trade, I'd be so proud. And, you know, I thought of this the other day. It's kind of unrelated, but you know Ray William Johnson, right?
yeah, yeah,
So
of course.
he used to
Ray
be
J.
the biggest YouTuber in the world. Now he makes uh, true crime sort of videos with AI art, which I
What?
regrettably watch when I'm at my lowest. But
I mean, just out of blind interest, like of course you would watch that.
here's where it comes into comics. Ray William Johnson, when he quit Equals 3, which was his old show, decided to make a comic book. And I don't think anyone bought it. It had something to do with clowns, I think. Maybe murdering clowns. And I don't know if nobody bought it. I'm not trying to be a dick to Ray William Johnson, but it's just sad to see him turn around and just he made a comic book. He obviously was passionate about comics and art, and then he goes and makes AI videos. And dude, like
That just
it's
makes me feel
sad.
like he didn't really I mean, I don't know, like yeah, you say he probably was passionate about it, but if he's the kind of guy that makes AI videos, I don't think I don't know, maybe he didn't go about comics the best way, you know, or for the best reason, so I don't know.
It's
You can't just put
it's I don't know. Yeah, like
you can't just put something out there and expect it to succeed, you know,
I
like you
think
said, we have to build a fan base and you have to actually, you know, nurture something. You can't just, I don't
I
know. If
think
you
we're
make something just to make something, it's not necessarily going to be that good, I
I think
feel.
he realized, which is something that I realized, is that it's easier to do nonfiction than fiction sometimes because you can just relay what someone else wrote. Um, so yeah, it is just easier to write shit that actually happened supposedly, and maybe you get a fact or two wrong, but at least you're not like, oh, I wrote something. This is my story. This is so cool. I thought, and then people read it and they're like, this is shit. This sucks. It's not interesting. And it's like, oh, I guess I'll just go back to doing the lowest cost thing that will hopefully get me the most views,
Yeah.
which is
I
what
mean,
YouTube is made
that
to do, really, I guess.
right, and he's definitely in a different headspace than us because he is living on his own trying to make a living off this, and if he doesn't make money, he doesn't fucking eat. So
I
that's
don't know
another.
how his life works, but he says he works every single day.
I believe it. I believe it.
Like, he made a video about why he was not going to post for a few days. Like, dude, why are you doing this so fast? Like, is the YouTube algorithm that like messed up that you need to post every day? Like, Jesus, man.
Like full posts, like how many reels does he post as well?
Well, I'm just no. He like does videos every day, like vertical, like
Mhm.
3 minute videos.
Oh, right. Yeah, I
Hope
believe it.
I guess he has that old school YouTube money. I assume. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, say what you will, but that's impressive doing something every day.
Sadly, this is sadly true. Lowest common denominator type content, but whatever.
One of my art teachers said something I'll never forget. She said that you can do something for a very long time and still be shit. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I just don't think he's like a journalist, so I don't know if what he's making is responsible.
right.
Uh, I don't think he has any training in that. So, but then again, I watch it, I contribute to it, and then I read the comments to see all those people who are mean spirited, and I don't know. That's the internet
Does he,
today.
does he have any supporters in his comment sections? Does he have any fans left?
Oh yeah, he does. They're hyping him up.
Oh, that's amazing.
They're probably younger than me, so and I'm 23, so I assume they're kids, and they just I don't know.
Interesting. Anyway, we've talked about Ray William Johnson long enough.
True. I think we're pretty much good to kind of start shutting down this episode unless there's anything else we want to talk about specifically.
Oh, I think we're good. I think that was a decent episode.
I think this was a good episode. Yeah, dude, we're gonna hopefully be back soon with another episode. This show is kind of, I don't know how often we're posting this. It's kind of random at this point. Hopefully every other week we can maybe kind of get it down to something around that. Um, but yeah, no promises, guys. Have a good day.
Take it easy.
Peace.